The first half has been pretty good from the Arsenal side. Lokonga and Elneny were the midfield partners, and Lokonga was slightly playing ahead of Elneny in the midfield, and Elneny was sitting deep to secure the back line. This has been a good outing for the Egyptian. Coming back from the injury, he played really well, but not to the level that we have been crying out for. Anyway, this has been a okay performance from Mohamed Elneny. This has been a comeback performance for Elneny after suffering an injury against Fulham in our home ground at the Emirates. He has done his job that's been asked of him. Arteta is slowly bringing back Elneny to the forefront, and he has given 60 minutes in this match for the Egyptian. So when it comes to the back line, I think Holding is the one that's been raising many question marks over his performance lately. The performance level of Holding has not been up to the mark that's been required in this season, because Arsenal has been flying all cylinders right now. In the Premier League, Arsenal is sitting up top with a 2-point lead over the mighty Man City, and in the Europa League we are up front. So this has been a crunch game for Arsenal, even if Zurich is a team that's the bottom side in our group, but Zurich came with a playing style that's pretty bad for Arsenal to counter, because they were passing the ball even if their defenders have been rushed by our front line. They just kept on passing the ball. The performance level that they have displayed at the Emirates last night has been commendable. They came with the notion of passing the ball and quick passes, bypassing our midfield and getting to our final third. And when we look through the first half, there was not enough chances for Zurich to cause any trouble for our goalkeeper Ramsdale. When you think about the first half, there has not been any critical moments for our defense to tackle. The only difference that I noticed in the first half is Zurich came to us. Zurich was making it very uncomfortable for our defenders and our midfielders to receive the pass. The time that's been given to our players, Arsenal players, has been very little, because they have been running up to us, and they have been making it very difficult for our players to set the ball and look for a pass. And there's a time requirement for a footballer to get the ball under their feet, and then they'll be looking for a pass up front. So that time that's been required for a player, that was not given by Zurich. They were attacking our Arsenal defenders as well as the midfielders. They were looking for mistakes from outside. But in the first half, where there was not enough mistake from our side for Zurich to capitalize. When you think about the first half, at the beginning they had one or two corners, and we have tackled it very well. Everyone was questioning the displays of Gabriel at the back line, at the centre back position, but he has been solid yesterday. He is the one who has been in pick of the form, and he just gave the confidence to Holding and the others in the back line, and his performance has been very good. The attitude of Kieran Tierney has to be mentioned here, because the player of his caliber, he's been asked away for one or two matches, and a player playing at the right back has been asked to perform the role of a left back ahead of Kieran Tierney. There should be some kind of a negative mindset arising in the mind of Kieran Tierney, but none of that has been seen anywhere. He's been very positive about his role, and his role is very clear. He cannot play all the matches because of his injury track record. So Arteta has been very shrewd with him. He is not playing him in every match, and he's been coming in for 60 and 70 minutes in the Europa League, maybe yesterday for the full 90 minutes, and in the Premier League as a substitute player, because he cannot play for every Premier League game and in every Europa League game. He has been a very good performer for Arsenal, and he has not raised any eyebrows with the kind of situation that he's been put under, because he should be a player that's been a guarantee for the first team at the left back position, especially if Zinchenko has not been available through injury. But that's not what happened. In his place, a right back has been assigned to perform a left back role ahead of Kieran Tierney. Tierney should have raised a question, and there might have some murmurs about the lack of playing time from the part of Kieran Tierney. But that has not been seen anywhere. He's been very positive, and this positive mindset from the team enabled our players to play at the higher level and to acquire the position that we are in right now. So this mindset and the mentality of our Arsenal players is a commendable one. For that, Arteta has to be given some credit to make the players understand their role and to perform at the higher level. That's what I thought about Kieran Tierney. He has performed really well, and the goal scored was from Kieran Tierney's boots, and the goal has been coming for Kieran Tierney for the past 2 to 3 games. He has been trying the shot from outside the box. In the initial minutes of first half, Zurich was able to get 1 or 2 corners for themselves. The attacking play that's been displayed by Zurich, that's what had caused Arsenal to concede these corners, and we defended very well apart from 1 or 2 mistakes from holding. Gabriel has been very solid yesterday. So as the game progressed, Arsenal came to their self, and they kept on passing the ball. The move from through the right side, where Reece Nelson spotted a run from Ben White through the outside, and he put in a through ball, hitting the right side defenders, and Ben White was able to latch onto that pass, and he just put in a cross across the Zurich goalpost, and cross was deflected by the Zurich defense, and the ball came to Kieran Tierney to put in a shot, thundering shot through the Zurich defense, and the shot came from outside the penalty box of Zurich, and the ball that rocketed to the Zurich goalpost to give Arsenal the lead. Arsenal were pushing for the second goal because you know that in these European games, 1 goal was never enough. You need to get 1 more goal to secure the win for Arsenal. And Arsenal managed to come up with 1 or 2 very good opportunities to increase our score, but we squandered those chances, and ultimately the score was 1-0 at the halftime break. There were 7 changes from the last game when we have demolished Nottingham Forest in our home ground in the Premier League. Only 3 players were holding their places in this team sheet when you compare the one at the weekend against Nottingham Forest. Ben White, then Ramsdale, then Gabriel Jesus in the striker role. Nketiah came in with his usual running stuff, and there were a few beautiful moments with Gabriel Jesus, but he couldn't produce the goal that's been required of him. Nketiah has been trying, but that's not enough for Arsenal right now. If he has to keep his place in this Arsenal team, then he has to come up with some goals and assists. Otherwise, it's not far from another striker coming to this Arsenal team and taking his place. So another signing is not far away if Nketiah is producing such mediocre performances for us. The next games will be crucial for him because he needs to perform better and he needs to come up with some goals. Zurich was playing much better in the second half. FC Zurich carved out a few beautiful opportunities for themselves to score and improve the scoreline, maybe draw the match or even win the game towards the back end of the second half, but Arsenal defense somehow hold on to this 1-0 win against FC Zurich. And Arteta made substitutions towards the 60 minutes mark. The first substitution was Gabriel Jesus was taken, and Bukayo Saka has been put in after the 65 minutes. When you think about the injury that he suffered last weekend against Nottingham Forest, I thought he will be missing this game as well as the Chelsea game. But this kid is pretty special. He came up after the injury very soon. Saka was not putting up his optimum performance yesterday. He was just holding back because of the injury fears maybe. But the performance that we used to see from Saka was not there. So Arsenal managed to qualify for the next round Europa League games without playing those big guns falling from the Champions League group stages. Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Ajax, Juventus, all these teams are coming to the Europa League for the next round. But thanks to our clean sheet, and Arsenal managed to secure the first position, the top position in our group stage. So Arsenal need not have to play those big guns falling from the Champions League group stages. But for the next game for Arsenal in the Premier League is against Chelsea. And if you are playing the sort of game that we are playing yesterday, then we won't be able to get ourselves a win over Chelsea. We need to up our performance level, and if our performance level is anything close to the ones that we have seen, then we will make it very difficult for Chelsea and we will come out with a win. We need to get the 3 points and we need to stay ahead of Man City towards the beginning of the World Cup. So guys, this has been my first video, and if you like the video, please do subscribe and please do click the like button.